if you run a business, or I mean, even if you just need specialized data, you always face the same uncomfortable trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
You need a custom tool, right? A specific lead scraper or some kind of unique content engine, but you're forced to choose.
Yeah. What are the options?
Do you pay $100 a month for a SaaS product that is just going to constantly limit your usage?
Right.
Or do you dedicate months to learning Python and digging through API documentation?
It's the classic paradox of specialization. You need custom performance, but that barrier to entry is just so steep.
Right.
But our sources today, they detail this kind of, I guess you'd call it a hidden loophole. It's a way to use normal conversation, not code, to build exactly what you need. By strategically combining Google AI Studio and the automation platform n8n.
Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is to unpack a guide that, honestly, it promises to deliver the true no-code dream.
Yeah.
We're looking at how to combine two extremely powerful platforms.
Yeah.
One to handle the application's appearance, its face, and one to handle its complex automation brain.
So first, we're going to establish why this specific integration really changes everything for the average user. Then we're going to walk through the 6 crucial steps you need to build a real-world Google Maps lead scraper.
And successfully establish that live, functional data link between the two platforms.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start with the fundamental problem this whole approach is trying to solve.
Sounds good.
So the long-standing frustration for a curious learner or, a small business has always been the inherent limitations of off-the-shelf software. You always hit a wall.
Always. You need more data or you need a slightly different feature, and suddenly that $50 or $100 subscription it's functionally worthless.
You're on the limits treadmill.
That's a great way to put it. And even if you look at so-called no-code platforms, they often feel like they're just proprietary coding languages with, colorful boxes. You spend all that time learning how to string together a dozen obscure nodes, and you haven't actually avoided the steep learning curve. You've just traded Python for their own syntax.
That's why this architectural workaround, this loophole, is so compelling. It seems to completely bypass that choice between high subscription fees or months of learning low-level code.
Because the strength here is the essential separation of duties.
Okay.
We use Google AI Studio, which is powered by Gemini, to build the application's face, the user interface. We just talk to it. Then we connect that interface to n8n, which is the powerful open-source automation bridge.
And that combination lets you do what?
It means you can build and automate almost any tool you can imagine without ever touching a command line. It's really democratization through architecture.
So if traditional no-code fails because it's still too complex, how does simply connecting two tools bypass that steep learning curve?
One tool handles the interface easily, the other handles all the complex plumbing.
Let's focus on those roles then. Google AI Studio handles the creative part. The guide we're looking at refers to this process as vibe coding.
Vibe coding, I like that.
It's defining what you want in plain English and then letting the Gemini AI generate a functional web app from it.
That's exactly right. Think of it like telling a hyper-efficient intern exactly what inputs and outputs you need.
And what do you get back?
You get a fully functional user interface, buttons, forms, and the backend logic you need to execute API calls. And crucially, it comes with built-in Google superpowers. Meaning immediate, easy access to Google Search, Maps, or Sheets.
Okay, but this brilliant, instantly generated app has a critical flaw, which is why we need the second tool, n8n. It's a ghost app.
It is. The data just evaporates when you close the browser. It lacks any kind of permanent memory or a database.
So it's like a whiteboard.
It's a perfect analogy. It's a brilliant one-day whiteboard sketch. It works perfectly while you're looking at it, but unless you immediately save that drawing, which is n8n's job, it just vanishes forever.
Which brings us to n8n. The indispensable plumbing that handles the persistence and the complexity.
Right. n8n is a workflow automation platform. It can connect over 400 different services. Its core function in the setup is receiving data via a webhook.
And the webhook is what exactly?
Right. It's essentially just a simple, unique URL that acts like a private, unlisted mailbox for your application.
Okay.
Once the app fires the data into that mailbox, n8n catches it, processes it, and then routes it to any permanent destination, a CRM, a Slack channel, or in our case, a Google Sheet.
And I guess the reverse limitation is true, right?
Right.
Trying to build a highly specialized scraper or a custom UI inside n8n gets incredibly complex for a beginner.
Oh, absolutely. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when I try to force a single tool to do both the front-end job and the complex data structuring. It's better to separate those jobs.
So the combination is the key.
It's seamless. AI Studio builds the tailored app face, and the submit button on that app just fires the data payload to the n8n webhook URL. n8n then does all the heavy lifting of storage and routing.
So since AI Studio is using Gemini, does it automatically clean and structure the data before sending it?
It structures the request, but the data often arrives messy for n8n to handle.
Okay, let's pivot to the actionable steps. We'll use the guide's real-world example,
Okay.
building a Google Maps laid scraper.
Perfect. Step 1 is fast. You just set up the structure in AI Studio, you sign in, click Build, and immediately grant the app its necessary superpowers.
And for a lead scraper, that means you have to select Google Search and Google Maps access right from the start.
Yes, that tells the AI what tools it's allowed to use.
Then step 2 is the architecture, the blueprint, writing the initial prompt. And the guide really stresses that specificity here is the key to forcing the AI to output structured data, not just, a paragraph of text.
This is absolutely non-negotiable if you want machine-readable data. You tell the AI the inputs. Search query, city, country. Simple enough.
But then you have to be rigorous about the output.
Extremely. You don't just ask for info. You demand discrete columns. Company name, address, phone, email, website. But here's the key. You also include challenging, specialized columns like coordinates, latitude, and longitude, and even a subjective quality score with some reasoning.
That level of detail, listing over 20 columns, it forces the AI to structure the extraction up front. And that's going to be crucial for the mapping process later.
It's everything. So while AI Studio is prepping that, we establish the destination. Step 3 is creating the n8n webhook, the mailbox.
So you're in a new n8n workflow.
Yep, you drop in the webhook node first. You set the HTTP method to post. That just means it's configured specifically to receive data that's being sent to it.
And the output of that node is a unique URL.
A unique production URL. That specific address is the private target the AI Studio app is going to send the scraped data payload to. It's the direct, unlisted mailing address for your application's data. You just copy it and hold on to it for a second.
So why is specifying all those columns in the prompt so important before we even see the app?
It forces the AI to structure the data extraction up front. All right, now for the quick connection phase. This is step 4, letting AI Studio actually build the app. You go back to the prompt you were writing in AI Studio, you paste that n production URL where the placeholder was, and you just hit build.
And the speed here it's genuinely impressive. I mean, whoa. Imagine a complex multi-field application UI being built and integrated in under 20 seconds.
That's scaling customized tools instantly.
It's functionally brilliant. Gemini delivers the full functioning application, the input fields, a scrape leads button, and all the back-end logic, and it's all pre-wired to hit your private n8n URL.
So the front end is built and connected. Now step 5 is back in n8n to set up the storage. We add a Google Sheets node immediately after the webhook.
Right. You set the operation to append row.
Yeah.
You connect your account. Select your target sheet. Now, here is the crucial moment for anyone trying this. When those Google Sheets column headers appear in the n8n node, do not fill them in yet.
Why not?
This is where 90% of beginners fail. They try to guess the data structure.
You can't guess the structure. You need to see what the actual incoming data looks like first before you can map it to your nice, clean columns. Precisely. Which brings us to step 6. Test the data flow. We can call this the messy middle. You have to activate the n8n workflow first. Then open the executions panel. That's basically your mission control.
And now, back in the AI Studio app, you run your test query. For example, search marketing agencies in New York, United States.
And you watch mission control. It just lights up green immediately. You can click on that execution and you can see the exact raw JSON data that AI Studio packaged up and fired across the bridge.
And JSON is just
JavaScript object notation. It's just the universal language of the web. It's how the app structures all that specific data it scraped. And that's it. The bridge is built.
the custom AI front end is scraping.
And the powerful backend is receiving the data successfully.
So now that we've seen the raw JSON data, what's the immediate next challenge we face?
We need to map that messy data into our clean spreadsheet columns.
So to recap, we successfully replaced the limitations of commercial SaaS, or the complexity of learning Python, with a simple two-part architecture. We used conversation in AI Studio to build a bespoke Google Maps scraping app, and we connected it via a webhook to the robust automation plumbing of n8n.
And while the data is flowing, we saw that it's currently just disorganized chaos inside of n8n.
Right.
And this sets up the critical part two of the workflow, learning how to precisely map that inconsistent JSON data into clean Google Sheet columns, troubleshooting missing elements like LinkedIn links, and then refining the app itself using just natural language prompts.
Just think about the genuine flexibility this offers you. You're no longer constrained by the fixed feature set of some off-the-shelf software.
Not at all.
You can build extremely specific, tailored tools that perfectly fit your unique internal data workflows, and then scale that capability instantly.
The real power is moving beyond just basic lead scraping. Go and build a tool that integrates 5 different services you never thought you could connect before.
We'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.